You, yeah. Julius, thank you so much for messaging me on Facebook. The last person that messaged me on Facebook was a guy that I had a crush on to ask me out as a dare. I actually was told by someone not too long ago that you're supposed to move the mic stand when you get on there. It shows professionalism, etiquette, and like you know what you're doing. It's kind of like bringing a hair tie to a blowjob. Sorry about that. It's like, let me bring it and show what I can do, but if I don't use it, then like, just enjoy the ride. My mom's laugh, it's so damn wholesome. To my divorced parents. So happy the court finally was okay with you two being in the same room. I'm just kidding. The court was like, I don't fucking care. And I was like, I don't really love it because when you two are in the same room, when I go to ask you for money, you like communicate about it. Like she wants more Botox, she wants a car, and it's like, give it all to me. But like communication is good, but like my grandma who loves to stir the matzo ball soup pot, Italians are like pasta visuals. She's like, babe, this is my impression of a Jewish grandma. Baby, isn't it just wonderful how your two parents get along so well and communicate so well? And I'm like, yeah, Mom, I guess. And she's like, now that I have you, who do you like better? I'm like, are you paying for Botox or a car? Yeah, you got a nice view. I can see why you're laughing. I feel like we're like obsessed with these red flags these days. It's like, the way that he walks, it's just like a red flag. Or like, did you see him open his lollipop wrapper? Red flag. And everyone's like, oh my god, yeah. And then you have that one friend that's like, it's just like, this is like me. It's just kind of a red flag that he's like a little too close with his mom. And your friends are like, yeah, like, I guess. And then he texts you at like 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, come over, bitch. And you're like, what I like about you is your family value. And your friends are like, where are you? And you're like, family time. Blood is thicker than water, whatever anyone tells you. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. Oh my god. My current red flag is like marathon runners. Boys. Like, I have 15 friends running a marathon. You guys are hot. It's not about you. It's the boys. Why are you spending so much time running when you could be making money? I don't like it. My other current red flag is boys that look 21 but are actually 16 getting into the bars that I like to get frisky at in the East Village. I get that it's intern season, but like not for me. It's like, I go to these bars, it's midnight, and I'm like, I'm horny, sorry Dad. And I'm dancing, I'm like, hey, are you 21? And they're like, yeah, I got into the bar. And I'm like, yeah, but everyone gets into this bar. I feel like I'm gonna go from a hot girl summer to an arrested girl summer. And I know we all have that one friend that when you tell her that, she's like, yeah, but like, you would look so good in orange. And it's like, dude, I know. And like, I'm definitely guilty of having a fake ID. I got one in high school. I was 28 from Myrtle Beach, and I was still underdeveloped, so you can imagine the confusion. My mom actually took my photo in our apartment, and I was like, this? She was like, turn your goddamn head to the left, and I turned it here, and she was like, you're supposed to be 28. Turn it to the left. I'm like, but I'm from Myrtle Beach, and she's like, stay tilted. So I'll never forget like using it, and they would look at me for like 2 seconds and be like, go in, like you look like you're a good time. For once my personality did me good. Like, get in there. So I'm the baby of the group, even though I'm a lot more mature than everyone I've ever stepped foot with. And so I had a fake ID for a bit, and when everyone was already 21, they were like, let's go to the local like suburban bar. I'm like, sure, but I'm not 21 yet. So they were like, isn't your sister home? So I'm like, yeah, sure. So my sister's like, you can have my ID data, but please don't get it taken. I'm like, that's so funny because I actually went expecting to get it taken. So that's crazy. So we were like, well, we have to ensure that we're not going to get it taken. So why don't we call the bar and ask them a few preliminary questions? And I'm like, let's do it. So we call the bar and like the hostess picks up and I'm like, no, I'm not ordering buffalo chicken tenders. We have another question. My name's Linda. Not suspicious. Are you checking IDs tonight? This bitch is like, let me get the manager. Like, I'm not doing this. The manager comes on, he's like, hello? We're like, hey, are you checking IDs tonight? And he's like, yeah. And you just knew by the sound of his voice, like he regrets his job so much, like more than he ever did that night. And we're like, okay, round 1, check. Round 2, if you got in touch with a fake ID, would you take it? If someone gave me a fake ID, would I take it? He said yes. We were like, game, we're going. So I go, my amazing friends are like, you go last. And I'm like, okay. So they all go in before me. And I'm like, hey guys, this maybe wasn't the best idea because what if you all get in and I don't? And they're like, but we already made the cover. And I'm like, there's a cover? And they're like, no. And I'm like, they're like, we can't hear you, the music's too good. So before I went there, Becca, for that laugh, yes. So before I get in there, my sister's like, you need 3 things and 3 things only. I'm like, condoms? No. My debit card, my ID, and an Old Navy credit card. He's like, I like the way you think. My sister from another mister? No, we don't talk about that. My dad's like, this is on camera. Train of thought. Just kidding. Okay, so I get to the bar and he's asking me all these questions and I'm like, why'd you do this? So he's asking me all these questions, like, where are you from, blah, 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 and I'm like, answering all of them. And here's the thing, like, my sister and I look really different. I'm a 6 and she's a 7. So like, it's not that big, like it's noticeable. And so he's asking the same questions and I'm answering them like a true pro and he's like, you know what, let me go get the other manager, this is feeling suspicious. I'm like, Jesus Christ, pat me down while you're at it, please. And he comes back with a new manager and he's like, listen, I'm sorry we're being so strict. You're good. Why? It's just that someone had called earlier. Telling us that they were gonna bring a fake ID. What? Idiot! And my friends are standing there like, God, you know what? People cannot handle the truth sometimes. I showed him my Old Navy gift card. I'm sorry, credit card. And he goes, no one likes a deal like anyone over the age of 21. You're in. Thank you so much.